You are listening to the Foamy Heads Podcast, where we discuss craft beer and anything else that accompanies a glass.
That's right.
And beer is going to be flowing here in just a second. Had to take a quick rinse break, drinking some Liquid Death sparkling water. Mitch, you love this stuff, man. I'd never heard of it until you had introduced it to me, and now I can't stop seeing it everywhere. Like they've really.
I don't know why Nashville's embraced Liquid Death so much, but I'm glad they are. You know, you got to murder your thirst every once in a while, and they do a damn good job with it.
Yes.
And man, I've not had a good flavorless sparkling water quite as good as Liquid Death's. I don't know what it is about it. It's like they have a reason behind it. It's like extra carbonated somehow. I don't know if it's like a double step process or two step, or whatever, but
I love it.
It's extra sharp to me, and I just really enjoy it. So
I like this too.
It's it just fits perfectly for a rinse for me. I like keeping the carbonation going. And,
Yes.
You know,
I feel like regular water wouldn't do justice here.
right. Yeah.
So having that extra
it works.
bubbly carbonation works.
Yeah. And I was going somewhere else with it. It's just weird to see them pop up everywhere, even like No Quarter and all that. It's all a serving there. It's either the spring or not spring water. It's the mountain water or the carbonated form of it.
That does it, yeah.
It's all really good.
It's great.
It fits, man. I was going somewhere with Liquid Death, and now it just blanked out of my memory. I got their messaging down, but that's what it was. They're wanting you to recycle.
Gotcha.
The canning process is better than plastic.
Got it.
Aluminum cans, recycling is the whole reason behind their campaign, and they did it in a black metal format where
Love
it's
it.
murdering your thirst, but recycled it. So
I like it.
whenever everyone wants to recycle, Liquid Death.
Liquid Death.
Tennessee's not quite on board with all the recycling stuff yet.
No.
But,
Recycling is fake news.
damn it. Our politics are fucked.
Yeah. The good thing about craft beer is that you can keep politics out of it. Because no matter what side of the fence you are, craft beer is good for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got one there with you, Mitch.
Oh, yes. That's why it's here in my hand. So this is from a friend out in Montana, and it's a New England style IPA. So it says contents beer, if you're not familiar with IPAs,
There
I
you
guess,
go.
or the term brewing company. But this is from Kettle House. They've been in operation since 1995. And just says Montana, so I'm not quite sure where they are in relation to Missoula and all that.
Or Butte, all them.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Bonner, Montana. Still
Bonner,
doesn't help me, but
Nope.
I'll say it's near Butte for
I'll
now.
Google Maps it later.
That's right. Excuse me. Yes. Made in the shade. Right below it, this is the shady New England style IPA, which was also made in the shade. We can expect a hazy, juicy, and tropically fruity version of this IPA, and 7% ABV.
All right. Good
Very
middle of the road.
curious.
I like it.
So,
Interesting.
first time I've ever had Kettle House.
Yeah.
First time
My
I've
first
ever had
time
a
ever.
beer from Montana.
Yeah,
That makes at least two of us.
I've had a few stouts from Montana, and they got to step their game up, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
There's a pour.
I
I'll
didn't even
hand it
know
over.
Montana had beer. I could pick Montana out on them. I'm your typical American. I could probably find it on a map, but I don't know anything else about Montana.
It's beautiful out there. I know that.
Yeah.
I know it's a good ski area for a lot of people. I'll go skiing out there and stuff, but that's all I know.
I've seen pictures from where my friend lives. He gets heavy snow for sure, but he's got mountains surrounding him, forest evergreen trees, and it's beautiful out there. He doesn't like being in the city. He likes being out in nature, and he's definitely
That's a perfect
man.
state for him. Then.
Sure is. He's got 2 big husky pups, and they just love it out there. You know.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Man, it's definitely the right temperature there versus Tennessee. Those poor heavy fur coat dogs.
Oh yeah.
But
The air conditioning's got to be on at least 40.
Yes.
In all those households.
for sure.
Smells
Ooh.
good.
Yeah, it looks like the carbonation is still pretty decent in that.
Yeah, Foamy Head dissipated pretty quickly though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I guess I'll preface this with, I think I got these maybe in September last year or October.
Okay.
He sent them for like a birthday thing. So,
It's a little over a year old.
no,
Or is
no,
it more
no,
like 2 or 3 months old?
no, it's from last year.
Oh, okay.
2021.
That's not bad then. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be all right.
Yeah, it's not
That'll
too
be
late.
fine.
I've been scared before when we were talking to Aaron and such, because those were like 8-month-old IPAs.
Yeah.
So
I
don't.
think we'll be all right.
I've got to start dating my things.
Yeah. Let's dive in, gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little hazy.
Yeah.
Good nose.
Love it.
I like that.
Ooh, bringing a little bit.
Oh yeah, they might have figured out IPAs because I enjoy this.
It's not bad at all.
Sweet.
Yeah. It's got that bite
Very-
to it.
Yeah.
This is a. It's not a double. 7%.
7%. That's not, it's funny how 7% now is kind of like mid-range.
Yeah. When it's sweeter, I just expect it to be like a triple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
1 pint, 7% ABV. No, this isn't. This is easy drinking for 7%. I mean, it for me it tastes like a. For me, it tastes around the 7% mark, but it could definitely be. It could definitely be a little bit higher in the ABV, and I probably wouldn't notice. It just goes down easily, and I like the taste of it. Did you
It's
say
not
where?
bad.
Did you say where you got this one?
Where I got it?
Yeah.
I just got it from a box.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Yeah, no, I think he probably got this from a bottle shop somewhere in Montana.
Okay.
But Kettle House out there, I think he sent me a stout from them. I haven't had that one yet. And I think he told me Kettle House does good stuff. I guess that's why I got 2 of their things.
Okay.
I got this other one called like Ivan the Terrible.
Uh-huh.
And it was not good. Not very good
no.
at all. It was like Big Smoke or something like that brewing. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, this one's, it's not bad at all. You know, I'm trying to find like a good positive critique and maybe a negative critique on it, but I'm struggling. It's good. It's a little sweet for just an IPA. That might be my fault for just letting it age, but if this is what they had, it's not bad.
No, not at all.
I do want to know more about what they mean by aged in the shade, because what would that do to the flavor profile, aroma, and all that? I don't.
It could be a marketing tactic. It could totally be something that's, you've got a lot of these breweries that do. A lot of it is just straight up marketing tactic where they just pull in this ingredient or they do this, and it may not even make a difference, but it's something that appeals to their audience, so they do it. It could totally be something because light is probably beer's worst enemy.
Yes.
You got a lot. Sam Adams, I think, was one of the first to do it when they bottled not only their beers in like dark bottles, but at the same time their cardboard like caddies. They go all the way up, right? Because light is the enemy of beer. It'll ruin your beer pretty
oxidize
quickly.
it real
Oxidize.
fast.
Thank you. That's the term I
Yeah.
was looking for. Yeah.
Well, I apologize for being shady on the subject. But
Oh, there's the one.
He was waiting for that one.
Mitch is great
Yeah.
with puns.
I can
or terrible.
I
One
can
of the
be.
two, whichever.
Yeah, it's I got no complaints on this one. Would I go back for another pour of it? Maybe not.
Yeah.
But it's a different experience when you get it on draft too. So
Yeah. Runs like fresh.
yes,
Yeah.
I would like to have this like pretty like close to like being done and
Yeah.
freshly canned
Yeah.
as possible. But it's like also I think about I'm like, when am I ever gonna go to Montana?
right. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember
I'm
this
not
one
much
when
of
I
a
go there.
skier, and so I was like, I don't think I'll be out there. So it's gonna be a good while
Yes.
before they get out there, unless they just become all of a sudden just start becoming this metropolis in the country. But
Yeah,
And it's weird coming straight off of Fenario onto this.
Yes.
Because those are 2 completely different IPAs. Fenario is kind of more of the West Coast. It's hoppier, bitter. Kind of, I don't want to say dank. I wouldn't consider Fenario to be dank, but it's definitely more like in your face, more of a wet hot style beer. This is a completely different. It's sweeter. It's a little bit juicier. So I don't know if I've ever gone straight from. I've gone the opposite order. I've always gone hazy and sweet and juicy to West Coast, in fear that if I go the other direction, my palate's going to be wrecked and I'm not going to be able to taste a lot of the flavors. And in all honesty, that could be what's going on here. I don't know, but I'm still having an enjoyable experience moving from something that's super hoppy and West Coast style to more of a juicy, hazy style. It's something I haven't done before.
Man.
So yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, the Beerded Tastings is coming up on season 2.
Yes.
Just released.
Yeah, it has not been released yet.
Okay.
I am recording season 2. The first episode will drop February 2nd.
Okay.
So once that gets going, that's gonna be rolling. I'm still gonna do the beer reviews, but that's gonna be more of like every now and then. But I'm definitely gonna do like the 1 minute, like quick ones on Instagram and things like that, so you can kind of.
Like Instagram stories plus a post, or
that's gonna be probably like a post. Stories, I usually try to keep that real time and just like things I'm doing, things I'm participating in, just kind of give you a snapshot of like in that moment versus like a post. Some of my posts are from like months ago. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but
hey, content's content.
Exactly. So, but like with stories, I kind of want to like here, like I posted. I'm on a podcast tonight, so like people want to see that I'm on a podcast tonight.
It's easy to do a story in the moment, though.
Yes.
So posts take a little bit more time and creativity, where stories it's just you can blast it out instantaneous.
It's like, oh, I'm here, and then like 3 weeks later, you might post something from here, but oh, okay, that's what he was doing, or that's what Foamy were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And making that connection.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, like the stories, like I'm just like get something out real quick, especially if I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to post. I'm just gonna put a story over. I'm gonna do a quick boomerang of the beer I'm drinking tonight, and like, boom, okay.
That's the nature of the beast with social media, though. It's just like keep that going.
Yes,
keep it going. We're not as constant. It's hard to keep up with social media and keep people's interest and.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You've got to be doing something daily.
Yeah,
every single day.
It's a tough gig.
And when it's not your primary, your primary source of income, and it's not like it could be your passion, but at the same time, like bills come first. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got to have a roof over your head. You got to adult first. It sucks sometimes, but you got to. Sometimes you just want to be a kid.
I've got something up my sleeve for Foamy Heads. We want to like approach more video with our content. It's just not there yet. But I've got this weird, I think it's called like the Ozbot, OSBOT, and I can put my phone in it, and if I give it a high five from a distance, it'll zero in on me.
We played with it one day, I think. Yeah.
And it can do like a wide shot all day, but it doesn't, that's not a multicam thing that you need for like higher level, just like one-on-one or 3 or 4 sessions. But it's still an idea I think I'll play with in the future and just have something to go with the audio and some visual representation. I just don't know the process behind it yet, and it's just video's tough.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not in it every day, and I don't know what the next steps is for us when it comes to like that video thing, but I really want to approach it. And Instagram stories we just haven't done anything with, and we're slacking on that end, man. We are.
No, I feel you. I'm not perfect on it either, because sometimes I just forget. I'm just so in the moment. I'm like, I'll get halfway down the street from like the house. I'm like, I didn't get any pictures.
Yes. It's hard to remember. Yeah. Because you're trying to enjoy the moment and not be a content creator,
Right. But also, you got to be a content creator. It's just like, it's just this vicious cycle you're in.
It is. It gets frustrating, but it's also rewarding at times where you're just like, damn, that went good.
Yeah.
You get that one every once in a while. You're just like, that's what I
was on it.
Yes.
I nailed it.
Yeah.
Yes. How's this one settling? Final thoughts on Kettle House?
I like it.
I like it. I still think the judgment's out for me because I still want to try a little bit fresher.
Same. Yeah.
So I don't want to say like, oh, I dislike it or I like it.
Yeah.
Before I have a little fresher version of it.
Mm-hmm.
But for what I had, I really enjoyed for about being like what you
Right.
said 6 months.
Yeah,
or
6 months.
6
or
months.
So. It was
I like
alright.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The I if I was to like put it on some rating app, it'd be like unrated, with an opinion attached to it. But
It's like I had it 6 months after it was
Yeah,
canned.
exactly.
So, like I don't know if it's good.
No
or
one
it's
in-
bad. Or
Yeah.
like Montana might just be an IPA stay and they fucking nailed it. Like you know what I mean?
I've never had another beer from Montana before.
Yeah. So I have literally zero things to judge it off of.
same, yeah. I've had stouts and they were little disappointing. They should have held a little better, but even the friend of mine said, "Oh yeah, that one that I gave you isn't that great, but it's Montana." All right, thanks. Ooh, what?
So this is the first beer opened with the new Natter Days
Oh, I love that.
Dude.
Yes.
bottle opener. So
Yes, like a top the bottle.
yeah,
cap,
so
everything.
it's totally magnetic. And as I was
Holy
popping
shit.
the bottle on the next beer, the bottle cap stuck to the side. Just
Are
'cause
you-
it's super magnetic?
It serves dual purposes.
Yeah, yeah.
Man.
You can
Okay.
hear it.
That's awesome.
That's a magnet. if I
That's a
ever heard one.
magnet. Don't put that near your credit card. Mitch, can I let you explain this next one?
Yeah, bring it over here.
Yeah.
that's-
So this is the other one I brought tonight. This is the Embrace the Funk from Yazoo Brewing in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the I decided to be a line hopper this year, and this is a saison with Citra, Simcoe, and I might be mispronouncing this one. It's in cursive sativa, not weed sativa, but Citra. Think of the spelling of Citra
Darn it.
sativa.
I thought Yazoo
Yeah,
was doing something.
sativa hops. I've never heard of that one before.
Interesting. I haven't either.
I'm very curious what it is. I think this has probably got Brandon's work behind it, and
Oh yeah, of course it's Brandon.
yes,
Oh, Brandon.
thank you for coming over here.
Just up to no good all the time.
Yeah.
This is the
Is
line
it an
hopper.
IPA?
This is a saison.
Saison. Yes.
Yeah, we're totally shifting gears right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thank you.
Oh man,
This is
those kind of hops?
huh?
I thought it was an IPA.
It sounds like one from the
You said
description.
Simcoe. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
an
the way
IPA,
he- the
bottled
way he described
IPA.
it, but
I don't
it's-
think I've ever seen a
Yeah.
bottled IPA before.
A hoppy saison with Citra, sativa, and Simcoe. I'm trying to pronounce it. It's Citiva.
CITI.
Sativa. Sativa?
I don't know.
Maybe it's
I have-
sativa. You gotta like
I have
pinch
no
the
idea.
hand a little bit, like sativa.
Citra sativa. I'm a
Sound
little-
like Mario a little bit.
yeah.
I'm a little nervous from a stance that this is a part of their Embrace the Funk series, right? Because it says Embrace the Funk at the top. So normally that's historically known as like sour funk beers.
It can be. Yeah.
So this could technically be sour because it is a saison,
Yeah. It
But-
can be a farmhouse style.
a farmhouse style ale. Thank you. That's what I was looking
Yeah.
for. Yeah. I'm curious how funky this beer is going to be, if at all.
That could be chaos.
Yeah.
Brandon does really good work over at Yazoo. He does all the Embrace the Funks, to my knowledge,
Oh,
and he
Not to
knows.
interrupt y'all, but this
Dude.
aroma is.
yeah.
Brandon doesn't
Okay.
fuck around.
Yeah, that smells
I can
good.
have
as
that in a
fuck.
candle.
Yeah.
Brandon, that's
Man.
another idea for you. Just
Shout
talk
out to
about
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yes.
Candles.
Yazoo, Embrace the Funk
Embrace
candles.
Let's talk about that
Yeah.
nose real quick. We're
Okay.
all like geeking out on that.
I don't think all three of us have smelled a beer at the same time on this show and went, holy crap, that
Yeah.
smells amazing.
So this came out a little over a week ago, I believe, and Brandon himself reached out to me on Facebook when I commented about picking it up.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what people's thoughts were on Facebook, and he said, drink it now if you want to taste the hops. Otherwise,
Really?
those flavors will fade over time.
Wow.
So this is the best time, if not sooner, that we could have drank it. The sooner the better for this one.
Okay.
But it's got a great foamy head to
It's
it.
staying, too.
Nice little haze. It's a little. I don't like using the word golden, but it is.
Yeah, I like that. I love the lacing on it, and it just sticks to the glass. And
It looks like a pale wheat, kind of. I
Yeah,
mean, just the way
yeah.
the color hits the glass.
I was gonna say like a golden ale almost.
Golden ale, yeah, like
blonde
a,
ale
yeah,
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Did you just taste it?
I did. I just dove
Oh,
So
okay. Oh,
It-
you've already tasted
Yeah.
it.
in. It's got a
Shit,
little. It's a hint of twang to it. It's very delightful.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Oh,
You
that's
get more of the
super
bite
good.
on the back end. Like
Yeah.
you smack your lips once or twice, you're like, oh, there it is.
I
There's
would,
the hops.
ooh, I would. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, this
that.
is tasty. I did not accept. I don't understand.
That hop bite just like really shows through, and then that little bit of profile. I don't know which. I know I can taste some citra in that, but what part of that is the sativa?
I don't know.
So,
If
Six
we're
that
of
might
saying
be
it
just
right.
strictly. That's probably the aroma we're getting. It's probably an aromatic hop. It's
Yeah.
like, you're not gonna get flavor from this, but we just need it to smell great.
Yeah.
I don't see the ABV listed on the bottle.
Oh yeah.
I could be. No, I'm definitely not drunk. I don't see it.
Oh well.
This is not so the citra hops that the citra hops are definitely on the first part of the taste. Like that's the little bit of fresh sweetness that you're getting.
Yeah.
That's definitely citra hops, and citra hops historically are not known for just flavoring an IPA unless you just like massively hop it with citra.
Huh.
So that way, when you see like an all citra hop beer, it's always like citra, or double dry hopped or whatever, because citra hops are a lot lower on the alpha acid scale. So they're not known for being super bitter, but they're known for, if you just massively hop it with something, there's tons of flavor in it. This one right here, I taste it right at the beginning, and then those just go away. And what I'm left with is, you mentioned it, Kramer, is that bite on the end.
Yeah.
There's a pleasant experience right between when I first taste it, and the middle is where most of the flavor is, and then that bite just comes through right at the end and just really elevates it on your palate.
Top off.
And it
top
doesn't
off.
hang around in your
Not
palate
at
for a
all.
long
No.
It
time.
keeps you going for another sip instantly.
I wouldn't call that a clean like profile, but man, it makes it dry, I guess, and
Yeah.
makes you want to top off a little
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely. This is actually, and it's weird that this is, for me, I normally don't gravitate towards embrace the funk beers, because funk beers for me is just not my style. Sours, definitely not my thing. I have been known to drink a couple of them just because
Every now same.
Yeah.
We're on the same path.
more kettle sours, more of like the fruity tart stuff
Yeah.
than actual like funky sour beers. Or I prefer more of the tart, flavorful, like fruity sours, kettle sours. This is a completely different style for their typical embrace.
Yeah,
the
and
funk.
it's a saison, which throws me off because it's not as peppery. Mm-hmm. Usually, saison, no matter what saison I have, I'm like, oh, there goes the peppercorn.
Yeah.
Right.
This one, I'm like, I'm searching for it. I
Can't find
haven't
it.
found it yet.
Nope. Mitch, what was the name? You was it High Cotton Brewery that had out of Memphis that had a saison that was just like super peppery and was
Yeah.
really good?
Well, okay, I guess it. Yeah, my memory is fading on this one because it's been so long ago. But yeah, there's a brewery that was up and coming. I guess now it was 7 years ago, called
wow.
High Cotton in Memphis. It was close to.
I was just there. I
Oh man,
catch that one. I caught some really good ones out there, but I didn't
In
catch
Memphis?
it. Yeah,
Oh,
Soul
okay.
Soul and Spirits is really
oh, I've been wanting to check them out.
good. They're really dope. They got a really good American IPA called
Man.
Hoochie Coochie. That's the name.
Yeah.
Their stuff is really good. Of course, hit up Wiseacre.
Yeah.
And where else did we go?
We talked with Wiseacre.
They got some
Michelle.
good stuff.
Yeah, we were with Michelle. She's the rep here in the Nashville
Okay.
area. Yeah, Michelle's super dope. Friends with Kat, who works at Rheingeist Brewery. So we got a chance to run the gamut with a bunch of Wiseacre beers, and very enjoyable experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have that. Don't fail me, brain. What aquifer?
Yes,
The water from the aquifer.
Wiseacre has their own aquifer, which is
Yes.
super dope.
Yeah. The man, I'm still taken away by this dash. Did I ever mention the name of the beer as I was talking?
I don't
about it?
think so.
Dash 22 for line hoppers for the 2022 year at Yazoo.
Okay,
Man,
I hope
Brandon,
this is a yearly thing, man.
This is good.
he
Yeah.
pumps this out regularly. This kind of like
He
level
did
of
his thing with this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brandon, you did your thing with this.
And did you say this is one that he said drink as soon as possible?
If you want to taste the hops,
Yeah,
as soon as possible.
I taste them for sure.
Oh yeah.
and
But
just
it's not
like,
overpowering at all.
Not
Right.
at all. No, this is the right blend between a saison and. Typically, you don't experience a lot of hops in the saison. I mean, they're more kind of corny and
Yeah.
bready, but then they've got that peppery, like you said, like a peppery flavor, and they can be more funky, sometimes sourish.
Yeah.
And
Depends
this
how you
is-
ferment them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is none of that. Like this is everything I want in a saison beer.
yeah,
I love it.
Oh, I never finished my thought on High Cotton. So,
Yes.
I went there at my previous job. We went and saw friends of his, and they let us taste before it was done. I don't know if that was the wort or if it was almost
Not
done.
carbonated yet.
Yeah, not carbonated yet.
Okay.
And it was they had a lot of bags of peppercorn in it,
Ooh.
and I loved it. I loved the heavy-handed approach with the black peppercorn in it. And I think I went back 2 months later to get a growler of it, and I brought it back.
Yep.
It was somewhat less present, but still pretty heavy on the note of like just tasting it. But it's been so many years ago now that I can't speak logically about it anymore because it never happened again, and I never went to Memphis as often as I used to like pick it up and see if they were continuing it. So I think that was my favorite saison, but this one is probably taking the cake.
Taking the new spot.
This is up here for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you had that growler of that saison,
Yeah.
that's when you shared it with me.
Yes.
That was the first time actually the only time that I had the only time I had anything from High Cotton,
Yeah.
and it was solid. I loved it.
That was really good.
It was really good.
This man, Brandon. I need more of these.
Yeah, I need to come get out to Madison and try
Yeah.
some else stuff.
They
So
do
I-
have a nice little tap room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad they moved out there.
Yes.
We went there a few months back.
Uh-huh.
And it's been a minute. I got their Black is Beautiful collab. That untitled art they did with
Yeah.
Yeah.
in comparison. You had to get it like in their little package. That bomber was
Ooh.
so
Yeah.
good. I asked, I was like, can I just get the bomber? Like I like y'all's beer, but like this bomber was.
That's the one I'm looking for, right?
They're like, yeah, you gotta get the other one. I was like,
Man.
dang it.
I like the
And we're sold out.
I like the Black is Beautiful series. That was I think
That's
that was
awesome.
actually during the pandemic.
Yeah,
when
that was
that
like-
came out because I remember
Front end of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was right towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was after everything had shut down. Actually, it was right after everything shut down. Everybody was closed, and then that's when the craft beer industry had to pivot.
Yeah.
Right, because a lot of these breweries in Nashville relied on beers coming straight out of their tap in the tap room, and those weren't open.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of these guys had to learn to pivot and do like to-go sales, and things like
Deliveries,
that. Yeah.
all that.
And I remember going to Bearded Iris, and we wanted to go try their Black is Beautiful version
Oh, yeah.
and their variant, and it was only in draft, but they were doing like they were doing. I think they were allowing us to do to go
Yeah.
at the same time, so we were able to get a solo cup of their version of Black is Beautiful, and I think Mitch, I think you were with me. I can't remember.
Yeah, I
but
probably
we
was.
sat out in the parking lot and drank
Oh, yeah.
the Black is Beautiful.
Yeah,
from
that was me.
Bearded Iris.
Yeah.
yeah.
Parking lot? Yep. That was
Yeah.
me.
Parking lot beer.
They
Yeah.
did not, I'll preface, they did not suggest that. We just did it out of our own
Yes, I
volition.
was
But
gonna- yeah, that
they
was
had
definitely
lids on
not-
them, and they were closed, and then we popped that shit open and
Yes.
drank.
But that was an
Fantastic.
awesome series because I found myself seeking out that series because I love those I love stouts with I love stouts, but two, I
Yes.
like beers with a purpose.
Yeah.
And then three, I like when other breweries decide to sign on and say, okay, we're going to make our own rendition of it. And that's what Black is Beautiful was, it was a concept,
Yes.
right? And then they said, okay, these breweries are going to do their thing.
Like, here's a recipe. Just in
Yes.
case you can't and you just want to get something out there.
Yes.
Here's the recipe.
Yes.
Do what you want with it.
Yes. And you saw completely different versions
Yeah.
of Black is Beautiful.
And I seen a couple that weren't even stouts. They were like, I saw like a random sour floating around
What?
Really?
somewhere. Yeah.
I missed
like,
out on
Wow.
It was like one. Like it was like some random brewery in like Iowa or something. Just
Wow.
like, sour. Like, oh,
All right.
didn't know that counted,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we'll take it.
Yeah. I hope we see more of that kind of like is it right to say community focused kind of like recipe and a local, like multiple local areas supporting I mean, why isn't there more of that?
It should be for sure.
Yeah.
I think
1,000%. If you're going to be a community, you need
Yes.
to do all the communities. Like,
Yes.
you can't pride yourself on something and then be
Right.
like, oh, yeah, that thing we did, yeah, that doesn't work for that group
Right.
over there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, or even just like we did the Brave Noise, which is just pretty much
Brave
the
Noise,
same
yes.
concept, but like not everybody did it.
Right.
And so it's just like, but that's different. I think they put more of a stricter timeline on breweries doing it because
I only saw a little bit in the news feed, so I didn't learn as much about it. And
Jackalope, we did the Brave Noise,
Yeah.
and with Bailey being a woman-owned brewery started by a woman and everything going on with that story. She that was like one of the first things we were just like, yep, we're doing it. Okay, cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Fuck.
It's because there's 1,000 different beers that are coming out every day. In
Yeah,
the
I
craft
guess,
beer
And
but-
it's
industry.
just like, again, like you had to the end of 2021 to make it,
Yeah.
but they didn't roll out the
Oh.
recipe till like September, October.
Not
Oh,
enough time
shit.
to plan it.
Yeah, so
Got
it's
it.
just like really quick. It's like, oh, you got till the end of the year to do it. And it's like,
Man,
before working at Jackalope, it was just like, I just didn't understand brewing schedule. I was like, why can't you fit it in there? Now, like working there, I'm like, oh,
Get
because
it
you
now.
still gotta like store your flagships,
yeah.
your seasonals,
Mm.
and small batches and
Man.
things like that. Like it's, I saw it's like I came to respect it more. I'm like, okay, they probably couldn't do it because depends on who the brewery is.
That time
Like,
frame was just too.
yeah, it's like they probably got like us. Like at Jackalope, we got a bunch of beers. We gotta get out. Like Bear Walker,
Yeah.
we gotta
Yeah.
get that out there. Like that's our number one seller. And
Yeah.
like we gotta make a bunch of that. Now Lovebird is starting to kick off. We brew Lovebird is sitting in the fermenters now, so that season's starting to kick up.
Oh,
And
all
we
right.
still got to put out Sarka. We still got to put out Thunderan. We still got to put out Be Legendary. We
Gotta
still
have your
gotta,
base beers, right?
Yeah, so it's just like, oh, okay. I was like, it sucks that you weren't able to do it right now.
Right.
But I get why you can if you said schedule. It's like, oh, you probably got like several beers you got to make sure you have enough of for
Yeah.
your orders,
Yeah.
tap room.
Gotta pay the bills too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I
So,
Well, surely that'll come back, right? I mean, another
Oh,
whole
yeah.
new timeline that is a little more prepared and everything. I would love to support that if I had known about it here and
Yeah.
locally.
Jackalope still has Brave Noise out there floating around in the tap room. So,
Tap room, okay.
tap room for sure. We still got on tap. I think we still got some cans at the tap room as well.
Okay.
So,
I'll have to make a visit for sure. But I mean, that's part of why I like craft beer is seeing all of this happen.
yes.
And there's been a lot of things out there we haven't really touched base on that's happening, and I'm glad it's happening, and I didn't realize it was happening. And I just can't wait to see what the new version of craft beer will be like after all of this.
We keep saying that after all of this is over. And
Well,
unfortunately,
it used
we're
to only mean
Still in the heat of it.
I know.
yes. It used to only be the pandemic, and then other shit happened.
Yep. And now we're just living in chaos, going
Yes.
down every day. I think that the going back to the whole Black is Beautiful while we're opening up the next can, the whole Black is Beautiful thing is it was perfectly timed, but it was also improperly timed in my opinion, because it was perfectly timed in a sense that it was a time when the craft beer industry was able to band together and come out with something, so we were able to shed a lot of light on something with such a focus as that. But at the same time, like, it shouldn't take a pandemic in order for that to happen.
Right.
Yes.
Like, so it's a double-edged sword in a sense that having something like Black is Beautiful and a cause behind that, it creates all different people coming together into doing something like that. But at the same time, like, I feel like if it was created, say, in 2018 or 2019, before everything kind of like started going to chaos, it would have been lost in translation. So it's unfortunate that it took the timing that it did for it to come out, but at the same time, it was good that it came out in that time because it allowed people to say, okay, here's a chance for everything to band together. And the Black is Beautiful series created the opportunity for the idea mindset for other breweries to go, you know what, maybe we can start doing something like this also.
Right.
So because there wasn't so much noise in the craft beer industry during this lockdown period, people were able to focus more on something. So when Black is Beautiful, you had to. There was nothing else to focus on.
Yeah.
So again, and that's why I keep going back to it was perfectly timed in the sense that it created knowledge in that space, but at the same time it sucks that it had to be that time in order for something like that to come out.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. I again shout out to Bob Ross. It's another happy accident. It's just like would it have, I don't want to say damage, like it would have had the same waves if we did in 2017, 2018, 2019, like you said. But like also I'm glad it happened because now it happened when it did, because like now you can't avoid it.
Right.
It's been things that the Black community has been telling people that aren't in that community. Like this has been happening for generations. You can go back to Emmett Till and even times before that. It was easy for people just to kind of just be like, oh, well, I'm not in that community. I'm just going to look over here. Oh, these flowers look really great over here.
Man.
Oh, it looks over there. Oh, flowers, dandelions, woo.
Yeah.
Now it's like we're stuck in the house. So what are you going to look at?
Yeah.
Whatever screens you have available. Phone, tablet, TV. Your friends telling you. Social media, like just zeroing in on George Floyd and like and seeing like some sort of reality that's happening for people that don't look like you guys. Yeah. This is what people are experiencing. This is a real thing. It's like it burst a lot of people's cultural bubbles. Yeah. And like a lot of people like didn't realize they lived in the bubble, or they knew they did, but they're like, since I got the bubble, I don't have to worry about it. As soon as it got popped, they're like,
interesting.
I don't know how to compute. Oh God. And I think it's like, it's good in that. So it's like people like had to look at it and had to
digest that information, right?
And have this reckoning that needed to happen generations ago. Like our grandparents should have this reckoning versus we having this reckoning. But I'm glad we have this reckoning because we see what has happened. If you are smart and actually like pay attention to what's going on, you're like, okay, this is bullshit. How do we get this bullshit to the good shit?
Yeah.
And okay, so this is the work we have to do. And I think like with beer, which I love about beer so much, is like we have this community.
Yes.
And you can have these great conversations on beer. Like some of my best conversations I've had a glass of beer right here, sipping on it and things like that. And like having those things happen in society, you had to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Think about it, look at it, feel it. And then it's like, you can do whatever you want with it. But like a lot of things, it was really great seeing like people like, okay, we want to do something. And now it's like, okay, you brewed this beer. What's the next step? What's the next actionable step?
Right.
And really, and then having to hold people to that and calling people to the carpet and holding feet to the fire and be like, okay, you brew this beer. What's next? Yeah. How we keep building this community craft. Almost every brewery you walk into, what's the things they really like focus on is community.
Yeah.
But is it actually the community that's supposed to be here, or is the community you want? That's the thing you kind of be watchful for.
That's the rub.
There's some like breweries you kind of look at, like, you did the Black is Beautiful, but like, what else have you done? Have you tried to hire someone of color? Have you tried to collaborate with someone in that? I guess I'll do the transition for it because it's like it's just following into the next transition. It's like, okay, like are you reaching out to black artists? Are you reaching out to black-owned businesses? Are you reaching out to black influencers in the space you're trying to occupy and try to create something? And that was really cool. But like, we're drinking on the Beerded Iris Imperial Stout, but they've been really good about getting to the communities that aren't necessarily always marketed to.
Sure.
Which brings it to the collaboration I did with Beerded Iris.
Rollout stout.
The rollout stout.
Yeah.
It was this beer we created for this black-owned beer festival called Barrel and Flow up in Pittsburgh, ran by Dave Bracey, who has podcast Drinking Partners, and he created it just so black people that love craft beer can come together and just create this safe space. And it's like, there's more of us like this. It's like, and have that conversation and do that. And it was really cool because in order for it started out just trying to get black owned breweries to come and showcase their beer, but like a lot of breweries want to get in that space but don't know how to. So this was the perfect angle for them. And he thought of the great idea, was like, okay, if you're not a black owned brewery, this is what you have to do to be part of this festival. Is you have to collaborate with a black owned business, creator, artist, organization, and make a brand new beer.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you bring that up, you collaborate with somebody, and you bring that up and you share it amongst people, and you get a new fan base and things like that. And so that's how the rollout stout came about. I knew about this festival, and I saw that. I was like, well, we don't have any black-owned breweries here, so what can I do to like really bring people together?
Oh, okay, now I see.
So literally it's just me asking. I was like, hey, I just had this really good idea. This is an event up in Pittsburgh, blah, blah. I just asked. I didn't know, just like we said earlier, was they put out something almost every week. So I was like, they probably got like the tightest of tight schedules imaginable. They're like, the owner's just like, the owner's wife was like, yeah, let me talk to the brewers, see what we can do. Then like maybe like a week or two later, like, yeah, they're totally down. Blah, blah, blah. We're moving forward with it. Like, we're going to have a conversation, blah, blah. And we move forward. It's like, okay, what do you want to do? I was like, okay, I want to do this, blah, blah. I was like, I got someone that make the can art, which was my sister. She made the can art for
dope can art,
it
by
was
the
beautiful.
way. It was super cool.
Shout out to Julia.
Real
work
colorful.
with Rosa.
Yeah.
So if y'all need any, she's a graphic designer, so she can make a lot of different things. She started getting into resin so she can make ashtrays and things like that, and all that really cool stuff. So like, I got her, and then Bearded Eyes took off running. They're like, what if we get Slim and Huskies involved to help with distribution?
Yeah.
Like, get the beer in the locations here in Nashville.
Yeah.
So they're like, I was like, yeah, that totally down. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, who do you want to donate to? Want to get my friend of mine. He owns a business called Super Money Kids that helps black children understand money and understand how it works and how to build wealth and have that healthy relationship with money and things like that and understand it. And so the money will get donated to them after like the sales and everything like that. Cool. So in building that, we took that up to not Nashville. We came from Nashville, went up to Pittsburgh with that, and people absolutely loved it. But it's just like, doing things like that really brings and makes you do the work. And like, black people can see that when you're actually trying to do the work and you're reaching out to the community and it's genuine, we can pick up on that at a drop of a hat. But also we can pick up on the bullshit too. It's like, we know when it's a marketing ploy, and we know when you're just trying to do it just because you did something wrong the other day and you're getting punished for it.
Trying to make right by it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was just a really cool experience just doing that, like bringing all those people together and bringing this thing into a can and the person burst through the beer and through the can art and things like that. So like, it's made with real Slim Husky cinnamon rolls. They bought like 130 boxes of like the traditional style cinnamon roll. Put it into the mash, And then, of course, Brewdog is normal. They put cinnamon. They had vanilla, lactose, caramel in it. And they, while it was conditioning, they put an already made barrel-aged stout that's been aging for a year. They poured it in there. So it's like,
Cool.
It's like barrel-aged, but it's not. And it was like a super cool experience. And I honestly, when they were like, let's put cinnamon rolls into this mash, I was like, where are we going? What is happening? Like,
Yeah.
and it came out beautifully. Like, you first drink it, you get the vanilla and the lactose.
Yes.
Let it warm up, you get the cinnamon. Like, you'll get it has pecans in it. Forgot about that. So it's like the pecans and the cinnamon start coming out a little bit more, and so it's like the more it warms up, the more and more it tastes like a cinnamon roll. Like, it's just like basically if you could just liquefy cinnamon rolls and make and ferment it and drink it, that's what
rollout stout
that
is.
was. Yeah, it's just perfect.
Man.
So
It was a damn good beer.
It was.
I appreciate that.
Is it still? Is it still being made, or was it like a one-time production?
It's like a one-time thing, but like you'll randomly find it in the wild.
Yeah.
Like I saw that red liquor up in Bellevue just the other day. I was like, I
think
didn't even
posted on it too.
Yeah, I was
actually,
like, I
when
didn't
you did
even
that.
know they distributed it like that. Like I saw one here in East Nashville, not too far. The R&J liquor store. I saw it like that was like kind of like a couple weeks after we got back from Pittsburgh. I was like, oh, I didn't even know they distributed it at all.
Oh, wow.
So it's just like out. I'm sure there's still some weirdly out in the aisle, out in the wild.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Yeah.
I just know Red had some when I was there like literally like 2 weeks ago. So I was like, they might have it. Over at the liquor store over by Crazy Gnome had it.
Yep.
So I was
Main Street.
that's the
Main
only-
Street Liquors.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only two places I've seen it, but I don't know where else it could be. So if you see it out in the wild and it's rollout stout,
You
go
got
and
to
pick
get
it up.
You got to get it.
Because it aged really well. It's still like
Hands down.
it's still on point.
And I'm trying to remember where I got it because I actually picked up a can.
Would it
No,
have been Total Wine
Total Bev
or
in
Total
Murfreesboro?
Beverage? Yeah, sorry.
It
No,
might have been.
it could have been.
I
I don't know.
legitimately don't know. I was stunned that they distributed it. So,
So
like,
they not only in cans but on draft as well. So
Yes.
in Murfreesboro, I work over on the square. There's a place called Liquid Smoke, and it's right next door to a cigar lounge called the
okay, yeah,
Humidor.
yeah.
And Liquid Smoke has been this just trash dive bar historically, and then over the last couple of years, they just moved into the craft beer industry, and like so now you see a bunch of people coming through smoking cigars, and there's just constant bottles, cans, and drafts of good beer. And I was there one night with a buddy of mine, and I was like, "Roll out stout," and I go, wait a minute, that's the Beerded Brotha collaboration. And I told my buddy, I was like, hey, we need to try that because this is the only place I've actually seen it on draft. We ordered a couple, went really good with a Maduro, like a dark cigar. That cinnamon, that vanilla, that lactose really popped through. But the cinnamon wasn't overpowering for me.
No.
It was just the right amount.
you knew it was there. It was
Yeah,
like,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
I
It made
exist. Don't
itself
forget
known.
about me.
Yeah.
Well, how
Love you.
how was the event in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible. Like it was like I don't even know how many breweries were there. It was just so many different breweries that did different things, and they all collabed with somebody. If they weren't black owned, they collabed with somebody. So like you just meeting the people they collabed with. Cause I knew some of them just through social media, so it was super cool. Just like, oh, you are who you are. That's awesome.
That's
and
awesome, dude.
just like and just enjoying the space where like. I don't want to say looking on my shoulder, but it's like also like I didn't have to worry about anything weird happening. It's just like I can just enjoy beer. I can just talk about beer. I can drink beer. I can hang out with people and network and
Man.
think of ways I can collab with someone in the future, blah, things like that. So
I got way more information than I was anticipating having.
That's
on that
what we
rollout stout.
fucking
That is
need.
So cool, man.
Well, it brings up a difficult point with social media. How do I get more into the know when all I have is the bubbles that I'm a part of? I follow things every day, but it's really hard to.
but I feel like that to me that's the beginning. It's
Yeah.
like you know there's something you should be doing.
Yes.
So now you're starting to look.
Yes.
So you're starting to be like, okay, like I want this community to look like this. How can I look like this? I don't know.
Well,
I follow things. I don't. That's just merely talking to someone like me. That's talking to someone like Shawnee or my friend Justin does the bottle share events over at the Groove. Like just talking to us and having those conversations, just learning and enjoying the space as if you guys were talk to us that way.
Yeah.
And it's just literally like I always say, like you learned in math, the KISS rule. Keep it simple, stupid. Like you don't have to do these big grand gestures. It's literally just having those genuine conversations and willing to be uncomfortable, because there's going to be spaces where you're going to be uncomfortable, but you come out of those spaces way different of a person.
Sure.
Yes.
Like whether it's a 4-hour conversation or a 4-minute conversation, you're like, okay, I'm comfortable and I don't like the uncomfortability. I can only imagine what this uncomfortability is like for other people. How do we get rid of that? And then you can kind of work from, it's almost working backwards. It's like, okay, this is the problem. Okay, we got to work backwards, and this is where we get, that's where you find the solution when you're like, okay, this is the ultimate problem. We don't have people of color don't have the representation of this space. Like, because y'all been in breweries. Most of the time they look like you guys. Bearded, white, sometimes man buns, sometimes not.
Man, the beard's really caught on.
But it's just like, you notice, but you guys notice that. So it's you're on the right track. It's just a matter of just keep talking, keep asking questions, keep learning. And then things you learn, go tell your friends.
Yeah.
And then get them wanting to share with their friends. And then it's just like, we get the community that craft beer wants to keep trying to advocate.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, we're a community. We bring people together, but it's like the people you want to bring together and things like that. Of course, you got the dumbasses out there that just don't get it.
Yeah. Yes. So
Don't deal with them. Move forward, and if they want to figure it out, they'll figure it out. If they don't want to figure it out, let their chips fall where they may. Like,
that's what I like about I used to work at a cigar lounge when I was trying to raise money to go on my honeymoon. So I took part-time work on the weekends at a cigar lounge in Hendersonville. And I like to attribute craft beer to cigars in the sense that both industries allow me to sit down with people that I wouldn't have otherwise sat down with. Like, there are different walks of life that, and it's I don't think it's any fault of my own or any fault of anybody else's own. You just wouldn't. Firefighters, millionaires, cops, people of different walks of life smoke cigars.
yeah.
And the minute you sit down with somebody at a lounge, with somebody that's holding that stick of tobacco, and you go, hey, what is it that you're smoking on? You instantly have a connection, and you instantly have a quote-unquote in. And that's kind of where conversation starts. And from there, that's where the growth happens to me. Because in order for me as an individual to grow knowledgeable, I have to have something in common with somebody before I can start those discussions. And for me, it's a beer and or a cigar. And the minute I have that connection with somebody, the rest of it allows me to just open up and start talking about things. So if I can sit down with somebody that has a completely different walk of life than me, whether it's somebody of the same race as me, whether it's somebody of a different race, or if it's somebody in a different walk of life, whether it's a different job. I'm in IT.
careers and shit.
Yeah, I sit behind a computer all day. I code ones and zeros.
Race, religion,
Doesn't
nationality.
matter.
Yeah.
All of that
stuff.
honestly is almost, it fades away. It exists. I think it's important that you have to recognize it. I'm not a big fan of somebody going, oh, well, none of that matters. You're just all one person. No, that's not necessarily true. Everybody is a different individual. You should recognize that, but you should find the common grounds that you have with all different walks of life. And from there, you can start talking about the issues that each person has. And from there, that's where growth really starts to happen for me.
Oh yeah, most definitely. But I don't know about you guys. I can definitely use a rinse break.
Yes,
Me too.
no doubt. We'll be pausing real quick. We're going to come back with the final beer of the evening, I think, and it's going to be a
Yes.
big boy.
It's a good one.
So yeah, we'll pause real quick and then we'll be right back.
The grand finale.
Yes. All right, we're back. We're ready to rise and shine.
Yes,
That's your cue.
that was my cue. good conversations before the last rinse break. I think it was very eye opening in a sense, but also at the same time it was a lot more than I anticipated getting into tonight, because my intent was when we busted out the Bearded Iris, and this is something that we skipped over, but we started talking about the rollout stout and Kramer's like working with the Bearded Iris when we were coming out with the rollout stout. But what we actually did while we were talking about that is we were sipping on the Rise and Shine Imperial Stout with coffee, maple, and milk sugar. That was an enjoyable beer. I don't think any of us mentioned that the whole time, because we were just so engrossed in conversation.
But we all sucked it down.
Yeah, we
I
did.
watched everybody. Like, I was like,
it was kept drinking.
Easy to do with Bearded Iris.
yes.
And it's a Bearded Irish Stout. Like, you know, when they first opened up, they were trying to find their place. It seemed like, because they were launching all kinds of beer. They were good, but they were launching all kinds of things, and then it seemed like they fell into their place with IPAs when they were doing like a new IPA every week or a new IPA every other week. And then they nailed that, and then people kept wanting to get the newest and the newest and the newest, and then they moved their attention to stouts. And then they started doing stouts all the time. So now they're really good at IPAs, really good at stouts. And once they started doing that, then they moved into the sour game. So shout out to Bearded Iris for being consistent at something that they're putting out.
Definitely.
Before moving on to the next target.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of breweries will try to just do everything at once and try to be great at everything. I think it's important to be good at what you know you're good at before you start expanding a little bit. And it seems that Bearded Iris did that, because they found their niche with IPAs. And everybody wanted the Bearded Iris IPA. And then once they realized they had their customer base locked, they moved into the stout game, and Rise and Shine is no exception at all. 8.5%. I thought it was going to be heavier than that.
You can start your day, or you can end your day with this.
Yes.
Especially with the adjuncts they have in it.
Yeah, maple syrup and lactose. Like, it was just enjoyable beer all around.
It was super delicious. I don't think we touched on any aspects of that beer. We
Nope.
poured it, and we just stayed in
And then we
conversation.
just started talking about it and started talking about conversation and just drank it. But adjuncts, coffee, maple, milk sugar.
At this point in time, I could not comment on any of that.
Nah, that's fair.
That's okay.
It's definitely like a breakfast tea.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I could eat it.
Yep.
I could drink it like at brunch. Or I could drink it like when I get home after this podcast.
Yes.
And call it a night and go roll over and go to bed. Like,
Yep.
hey,
That's probably what you're going to do tonight, too.
there's a very good chance.
So moving on then, we're kind of hitting the heavy hitter. This is the last brew of the evening. This is the part of the 2021 Living Waters Mythos Club. Shout out to Ryan. And we had 1 and 2 originally, I think, and then they released 3, 4, 5, and 6
Yeah.
at the same time. But this is an interesting one because this is a Russian Imperial Stout. It's called Fenrir, Fenrir.
Close enough.
Fenrir,
Fenrir, yeah.
Okay. Mythos 2021 Russian Imperial Stout, 10.1% ABV. So this is the I think the finisher of the evening.
Yep.
For
Yeah.
us. So reading through the description, it's got adjuncts of banana nibs from Thailand,
Ooh.
aged in 14 roses. I'm sorry, 4 roses and 15 months of Willet rye barrels.
Wait, 4 roses and Willet?
Yes. This is going to be one of those. I feel like it's going to be. Is it barrel aged? I feel like honestly, because just reading of it.
Let's give the beer its respect. Let's
Okay.
sniff it,
Taste the nose,
or stare at it, sniff it, and drink it.
The nose is super barrel aged.
Yeah.
Right on the nose, real barrel
It's
aged.
dark as fuck.
Yes. There is no light coming through that thing whatsoever.
Not at all, but it still looks clean.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not cloudy. It's just
That's what I expect from a
It's
stout
motor
from
oil
Living
almost.
Waters at this point. It's one of those motor oil beers that's probably going to be super barrel aged, but really pleasant while you're drinking it. And it's had an opportunity to warm up a little bit while it's been open, so I bet it's going to be really good.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let it sit for a second just to bring some more out.
I don't smell any banana on the nose.
I taste it.
You taste it?
Mm.
Okay.
It smells.
Nothing like overpowering. Like it's like a hint of banana.
Okay.
I smell a little bit of that, like that bourbon barrel aged, but
Yeah.
it's not as like it's not a boozy nose by all means, but it's got a sweet note to it that could be that banana.
Yeah. Let's jump in there.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Oh, that's the right temperature for that beer, man.
Oh yeah, I love I always love their bottle art
Mm-hmm.
and the bottle selection they have.
Hands
It's like
down. There's
opaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just perfect, and the wax like top and all that.
All their stouts are bottled the same. Those
Mhm.
like charcoal black bottles that are super smooth but kind of feel rough at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the wax on the top, and when we've talked with Ryan a couple of times now, Mitch, but Ryan mentioned like all of his stouts, you know, unless they're bottled for like the Mythos Club, all of their stouts are typically poured in draft on site.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, they don't distribute their stouts; they distribute their IPAs, their pilsners, their gozas. But Ryan's really intent on making sure his stouts they stay in the tap room.
Right.
That's just kind of his business model. But this one's super tight, 10.1%. Like it drinks heavier than that for me.
Yeah,
It's heavy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of some of the Three Floyds beers I've had.
Okay.
The Dark Lord style.
Mm-hmm.
The Dark Lords are good, but their variations can be better.
Yes. Some are better than others.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on that. Yeah, we've had
That's fair.
certain years that
Yeah.
are better than others.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is definitely on that level of just, damn, that's a good beer kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm still feeling it through, but right off the bat, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
We'll let this warm up a little bit as we kind of keep discussing
Oh, man.
and see if these flavors open up even more. Because already off the top, I definitely tasted banana nibs
Yeah.
on it. Didn't smell it on the nose, but definitely taste it.
It's not strong like banana bread, though.
No. It's not overpowering. It's there in the middle of the sip for me.
It's kind of like when you order a Elvis burger with plantains. It's just like a nice hint of that sweetness.
Yeah,
I don't know what any of that means.
You haven't had an Elvis burger?
Never had an Elvis burger before. What's an Elvis burger?
Peanut butter banana on a burger of whatever shit you want to put on it.
Ooh, hang on.
yeah.
Peanut butter and banana
Yeah.
on a burger?
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Sounds weird, but
No shit.
it works.
It
Okay.
really does.
Jack Brown's, you can thank them for
Yes.
wild shit like that.
Yes.
Jack Brown's. We have one of those in Murfreesboro on the square.
Yes.
Wagyu burger. Oh,
Oh.
so good.
It's on point.
Yeah.
Hell
Now-
yeah.
now
This
do-
is like, instead of like a chocolate covered banana, this is like a banana covered chocolate
Ooh.
style. It just,
Banana covered chocolate.
it's like you get more chocolate on it, but like the banana like kind of just hangs out
Just
there.
a
It's
little
like,
bit there.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm
here.
I participated.
Yes.
I only gave 5%, but I participated.
Yes. Yes.
It's like a group project.
It's a group project. It's the one guy that showed up to provide some input on the last day. It's like, hey, I'm here.
Yep, just sign my name at the bottom.
That's right.
That's all.
I'm what you guys needed.
You would got to see here. I gave y'all B minus.
That's
right.
right. That's right. Go banana nibs. So what's next for the bearded tastings from a podcast standpoint? You're recording season 2. That's
Yes.
coming out, doing it episode by episode, but you're doing some of the recording now. What are we expecting in the year to come in terms of the season?
Oh man, I'm kind of just keeping it open. I would love to do more beer collabs. I like to do 2 or 3 this year with whomever is interested. Definitely just continue recording and just continue educating and conversing with people about craft beer and just bringing that people in. What does that look like? I'm open to that.
That's the question, right?
Yeah, it's like I interview certain people and they try stuff with me. Because that's the goal of the beer tasting. I want people I want that genuine moment on camera / on mic. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is what beer is, and just continue to build that aha moment for more and more people. And my next steps is just continue just building that community and building that diversity and having that accountability in the craft beer industry and just continue to build my voice.
Yeah.
There's nothing really concrete what that looks like. I wish I just literally my key to success is just being open to what happens after. Just kind of throw the poker chips up in the air, and wherever they fall, and kind of just dealing with that.
Yeah.
But I definitely would love to interview more people and start traveling with it.
Definitely.
And go beyond Nashville.
Sure.
Go to Memphis, go to Chattanooga, go to Atlanta, go wherever I need to go to have any kind of positive impact on the craft beer community and expand it the way it needs to be expanded.
Yes.
I do love about the craft beer industry is you find these really good breweries and you find these really good conversations in places you wouldn't expect to find them.
Right.
You know, Atlanta, you've got your big breweries, but at the same time, you've got these really small hot spots, right? You know, Inner Voice, one of the newer
Amazing.
ones. We were at Inner Voice last time we were in Atlanta, and they just opened up, and it was just like you wouldn't expect a brewery to be there, but when you do, you walk in, it's just like this passion for craft beer, and these people that just want to talk and they want to get the name out, and they're in places that you wouldn't expect them to be in.
Right.
You know, so traveling and doing that kind of stuff just it opens your eyes to a whole new, like, you don't have to be this big, huge congregated city.
No.
You know, in downtown Atlanta or in downtown of a major city in order to be successful.
Right.
These people can be successful. They just need to know. People need to know that they exist.
Yes.
And you can't do that unless you have those dialogues and those conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, Atlanta is amazing. So there's one thing I've noticed between Nashville and Atlanta when we went is we live in Nashville, and when we ask for like what's the next place we should go or where should we go for good beer, I don't know about the answer in Nashville. It's kind of just like, if you like this, go here. If you like this, go there. Da, da, da. Atlanta is very direct.
Yes.
Every they single tell time, you where to
tell
go.
You exactly where to go.
I love Atlanta for that, man.
Yes.
Every time we went, they said go here. It's from anywhere from where you just get taps off. Like the porter has what, 30 or 50 taps or something.
It was ridiculous. Didn't even know about it. Somebody just told us about it.
Yeah, and that's where we learned about torched hop. And then when we go back the next time, we talk to somebody at New Realms or whatever, and they tell us to go to this place. And then they take you everywhere.
Yeah. We touched on that a little bit, before the recording. It's like we go there with a purpose. The goal is to say, this is who we want to talk to. This is where we want to go. And every single time we go, we've been 3 times?
Yeah.
2 times or 3 times to Atlanta?
Total of 3, but
Total
2
of 3.
very successful.
Okay. And every single time we go, you talk to the locals, and you have this plan on, we're going to go here, we're going to go here, and every single time we get sidelined, and they go, you need to go here instead.
Exactly.
So we do, and we go, holy shit, this is the place that we need to go to.
They're all like they all want you to have a good time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I love about Atlanta.
Yes.
Like, Nashville's working its way there.
It is. It is.
I think the difference between Atlanta is the walkability between here and here in Atlanta. Like you go to Monday night. You got Monday night. There's another brewery across
you can walk
a walkway away, and then there's there's a bottle shop with a bar in it.
Yep.
Right in the same 2 buildings.
Yeah.
And I think right next door to the garage location at Monday night, I think it was the
shit.
garage. There was
It was.
Was it a whiskey? Was it a whiskey distillery where they had they had flights of whiskey?
You could get a flight of whiskey and a
Holy
flight of
shit.
beer in the same block.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the walkability here in Nashville.
No.
I think that's the biggest gap, and I think it's going to be coming. If we're going to have it, it's going to be in the Wedgwood, Houston area, because we got
true.
Jackalope, and there's going to be a new brewery called Fate La Force that's going to be
You sent me
real
that
close.
the other day. Yes.
So they're opening February 5th.
Okay.
And I think Justin, a.k.a. Brewing Circles, is DJing their opening. So it's just they're coming in like what we were talking about earlier, just doing the simple things. They got a black DJ doing the music on their opening night. It's so it's just not like you're trying to clear out your brewers or your HR department and bring black women in, black men in. It's just okay, this is what we got. We just so happen not to have anyone of color on our staff.
Mm.
But what can we do for the community that's going to reflect that? Okay, we're going to get this DJ. We're going to invite the Beerded Brotha. We're going to invite other black craft beer influencers in here and give them the space we would if we were for the Foamy heads.
Sure.
And things like that. It's like, okay, we aren't doing what we need to do in hiring, but what else can we do?
Right.
Mm.
And that's why I'm super excited for them, because like they hit me up on DMs like, hey, our opening's then, our soft
fuck
opening's
yeah.
now. Can you make it? Cool, great.
Mm.
And we have a special spot for you. Everything's on us, blah,
Nice.
blah, blah. And I was
Alright.
like, that's the key. It's
Yes.
like, and things like that. So like being able to see them do that, and they're not too far from us. So it's like, so now you got Fatal Force, you got Jackalope, you got Diskin, you got Corsair in that Wedgwood, Houston area.
Nice.
You got PH and things like that.
Oh,
All within what, a block of each other,
Yeah.
if that.
yeah.
It's a country block, so it's like a little bit smaller
Yes.
than like a New York block, which
Right.
could
Yeah.
be 7 miles.
Right.
Here it's just like, oh, it's a block away, but it's really just across the street.
Yeah.
But that's a block to us.
That's Nashville block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like being able to create like that convenience.
Mm.
I feel like that's one of the hugest difference between Nashville and Atlanta is just like convenience. Because you got
Very
MARTA
true.
in Atlanta.
Yep.
Well, we ain't got a MARTA here in Nashville.
No, we
Nashville.
don't.
Because it gets voted down every 3 or 4
Every
years
single time.
out of ignorance.
Yep.
But that's a whole nother conversation
Right.
and a whole nother podcast episode in of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
I'm excited for where Nashville's headed. I am.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited. I've been here 12 years almost. It'll be 12 years September of this year for me.
Okay.
So I've seen it where the Batman building was
Right.
being built.
Yeah.
Like you could see from Belmont's parking garage almost to Madison,
Wow.
uninterrupted.
Yes.
Now I can't
Little
even get
different now.
past
Dude.
the first building on Belmont's campus because they built up, and then you get past, somehow you get past that, you see all the buildings in downtown.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just like you guys are growing. It's just a matter of how good is your decision making
Right.
now?
Yes.
Like
That's a
where are you gonna
challenge.
go?
Yeah.
What's your next move?
Yeah.
Mm.
And how are you gonna elevate the city or continue to congest it with unnecessary apartments
And bachelorette bars. Sorry. But that's true.
that's like a trigger for me.
The
Yeah.
Every
pedal.
Saturday at Martin's.
Uh,
Yeah, we're a bachelorette party. What's great on the menu?
so much they even made a show.
What do you
about
want?
it in
I don't
Nashville.
know. Everything's good.
Yeah.
Do you like beer?
Like, do you like barbecue at all?
yeah.
You literally can get anything. I would tell people, I was like, you can get literally anything. You're not gonna go wrong.
Yeah.
Just pick something because the line's to the door, and I've been here 6 hours already, and it's been terrible.
Yep.
I'm working with the worst employees in the front of house. They're all high school kids that don't want to work. So I have to run cash, run drinks, run the food out,
Yep.
and then ring everybody up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
just get something, please. Just get it out of my face.
Yeah. Do you want to drink?
Are you hungry? No. Why are you here?
right.
Nashville will make it. It'll take time. But
Oh, I
Nashville will
believe in
make it.
Nashville for sure.
Yeah.
A few more years.
It'll be a few bad decisions
saying
that we'll have
I
to back up
don't
and kind of, but we'll
Believe in
make
y'all,
it.
but it's like also it's like y'all know what to do. Just do it.
Yeah. yes.
It'll be a few years. We'll make some bad decisions, but then we'll learn from them. But we'll eventually get there.
When we say we mean our government.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't mean
'Cause we have
us three
zero
at the table.
power.
Yeah.
All
If
the
we did,
Yeah.
Nashville would not look the way it
Nope.
did.
Exactly.
Not at all. Good times tonight, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yes.
joining us.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me on the
The
show,
Bearded
man.
Brother hanging out with us tonight at Smokers Abbey, Gallatin Avenue in Nashville. This has been fun, man. We've run the gamut. We've made our way from literally we've run the entire chain of
We ran
beer
every
styles.
style.
Yeah.
Every single style. Started out with lagers, and then moved into IPAs, and moved into saisons, and then into stouts, and then moved into the barrel aged stuff. So
Yes.
Yeah.
we
Yes.
made our way through a bunch of beers
That's
and had
how you
some
travel, baby.
Yes.
some liquid death for the rinsers.
There we go.
I think it was good. Mitch, what do you think? Closing thoughts?
I'm glad that we have our hands on some Mythos for closing
Yes.
thoughts and everything. That was a damn good beer.
It was really good.
I look forward to the next year of Mythos and sharing what we've got.
Yes.
And man, craft beer just continues to evolve and impress me at this point in time, and it better keep evolving.
It will.
Yes.
I think it will. Closing thoughts. The Beerded Brother, the Beerded Tastings podcast.
Yes. February 2nd, first episode drops. Of course, you can check out my website, www.thebeerdedbrotha.com. It's BEERDED BROTHA.com. You can see all my blogs, bearded reviews, bearded tastings on YouTube. Subscribe to my account on all that stuff. Buy some merch. Buy a t-shirt, buy a coaster, buy a bottle opener. I got all types of different things you can purchase. Definitely just again, subscribe to the YouTube, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Like I always say, grab your friends, grab a few beers, drink up.
Perfect.
I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, and we'll definitely link all of that stuff in the post when we post the episode. So there will be no confusion whatsoever when we post that. There'll be direct links and everything. So it's been a good time tonight. Shout out to Smokers Abbey for hosting us in the back. We've had the private room in the back for the last couple hours. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Bearded Tastings and the Bearded Brother for having the opportunity and the time to come on and hang out with us tonight. And it's been a good time. We've been drinking a lot of good beers. We've had some good cigars. So I think it's time to come to a close. So if you're not drinking beer, start drinking beer. If you are drinking beer, keep drinking beer. If you've never had craft beer before, there are people out there that want to talk. And there are people out
Just
there.
ask, baby.
Just
Yes.
ask. That's it. There's nothing more to say. Just ask, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Cheers.
The Foamy Heads would like to give a shout out to the Bearded Brother for joining the show at the Smokers Abbey for an awesome evening and great brews. We are so glad to have finally connected. We've been following the Bearded Brother for a while, and it made sense to bring him on as we dive deeper into the craft beer community around us. Make sure to follow both the Foamy Heads and the Bearded Brother as we join other craft beer purveyors in the area and support them in their craft beer journeys. Be sure to find both the Foamy Heads and the Bearded Brother on Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen. Leave us some reviews as those help us out online too. Be on the lookout for the Bearded Brothers Season 2 of the Bearded Tastings, which are dropping now.